Yeah, well, most of the time when I do stuff like that, I know that there's a camera there, so I'll play it up even more to really make sure. I'm like, please save me. Is there anything you could do? And the camera's like that, and she's like, listen, I'm sorry, it's done. And
I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh man, I guess I'm going, and then deep down I'm like, the plan's already in place to get you out.
You go.
I'm actually going to be fucking blindsided.
Welcome to the jungle with Toki and the Crow.
Hey, we're here with another episode of Welcome to the Jungle. I'm here with my boy, the Crow.
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's been a long time since our last episode.
Little while, yeah.
But we're here with a new guest, which we'll introduce shortly. What have we got to talk about today, Benny?
Believe it or not, mate, I'm annoyed again. I'm very, very annoyed. I got stuck in a situation this morning. Let me lay it out for you, right? So, and see if you agree with me here. Like, I'm a young, chivalrous, good-looking, early to mid-30s Caucasian man. I try to be the man of the house. So this morning, there's all washing on the bed, and it's not mine. It's my missus. And I'm like, I'll do the right thing. I'll fold it up. Put it away. Yep. Anyway, that shit is impossible to put away or fold up. Like, I start hanging the clothes, and there's that many like little frilly bits I can't even get on the coat hanger or whatever. So it's almost like it feels like underwear. So like I end up slamming everything into the underwear drawer, and I'm that over it. But that by the end of it, like I'm even getting a hoodie and just calling it underwear and chucking it in the underwear drawer. Okay. And I just cannot get the women's clothes sorted, but I thought it would be appropriate to bring up because we've got a couple of ladies in the building today.
I understand.
And it'd be good to get their take on it, I think. But annoyed.
So you've tried to pretty much fold your woman's bra.
Yeah.
And then
she got big titties too.
And then put it in the drawer.
Yeah.
And then eventually you realise you'll fold her singlet.
Yeah. I started by hanging the singlets. And then the coat hangers got the little bit where you put the little straps in, but they were coming off. Every time I put them up on the coat rack, they were coming off. So I ended up trying to fold them, but then they're like as small as underwear. So I just start stuffing it in the underwear drawer.
So have you seen your missus since doing her this big favour?
I've seen it, but I haven't said nothing.
Okay, so
she'll find out about it.
The moment she opens her drawer,
there's a hoodie
and finds out that her knickers are folded.
And there's a hoodie in the underwear drawer.
Yeah.
Taking up all the space.
And then you'll be like, thanks, like, you owe me, babe. You're in my pocket now because I did the washing once.
She doesn't appreciate it because I know later on when she's pulling her clothes out, she's like looking at me like with those eyes, and like, you didn't do a good job here. Yeah. Even though I've cleaned the place, it looks good, but I haven't done a good job.
What if it was you accidentally realised you'd grabbed the dirty basket rather than the clean basket?
Who's to say that hasn't happened? She was like, these aren't clean. Anyway, that's the rant today, mate. I'm trying to get on top of it, though, obviously.
Never folded my missus' clothes, ever.
Well, I was wondering whether you might have.
No, never.
So, okay, well, maybe I'm one up then.
Cool. But, all right, well, thanks for that, Ben.
Who we got today, anyway?
All right, so today's guest, we have Sammy. She was with me on Survivor.
Briefly.
She was the most visible player on the season. She also has accomplished something very special. She was in the Australian Amazing Race in 2011, which I actually watched a little bit of today. And I actually went back. Yeah, it started at the Melbourne Cricket Ground and finished at Harrison Island.
In Perth, yeah.
WA. 11 countries, 22 cities, and over 50,000 kilometres travelled, 11 teams, and you came second. Amazing.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
It was hard.
And with the Amazing Race now coming up and about to grace our screens, if anyone has a bit of insight, you would be someone that we're going to be picking your brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
So welcome, Sammy. Thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for making the big old drive down to...
Yeah, look, I thought I was driving to bloody Adelaide. No, I was just coming from the city.
On the Nullarbor. Yeah. On that Kwinana freeway.
Well, I come down from Freo and I was... Yeah, that might be my next rant, the driving.
Oh, do you know I was actually driving up the Kwinana freeway and there was an
emu. I saw it.
Did you see that?
I saw it. That was good.
It was like just jogging.
Great footage. footage too.
Yeah, I even tagged Channel 10. I thought I was going to get an exclusive.
Were you driving and Mary in the other seat, or was she driving and you leaned across her?
Man, I was driving, videoing. Nah, she was driving. I was leaning across.
I couldn't work out how that footage got taken. It looked super weird. But
Dude, and it was like a big emu. It wasn't like
I saw it.
You know what I mean?
Where did it come from?
That's exactly
they
what
had to
it
get
is.
they had to get a
It's
copper to
another
chase it off the
James
road in the end.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, good to see the WA coppers earning
You
their
know,
paycheck.
earning
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Doing
Our
their
taxes are finally, we see our taxes.
Yeah.
You get a copper like full tackle it and taser it.
Yeah, I wonder if
then-
there's like an emu department.
Emu stewed last night. They're like, no, we'll release it back. You know? Oh, sorry, it died after we shot it with a taser. So, welcome, Sammy.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Nice to
Thanks.
see you.
It has been. It's. I appreciate you coming down.
You're so welcome.
So, anyways, amazing race
Right.
coming up. We're gonna talk about that first.
Yeah.
Exciting. What do you think about it?
It's exciting. I mean, I did the first season 1 for Australia. At that point in time, I was 22. It was the longest running reality television show on the screens. So it was really exciting because reality television back then, so that was 9 years ago for me, it wasn't really a thing.
No.
So, yeah, I'm excited to see what they've done with it. Plus, I did it with Channel 7 and now it's over to Channel 10, which is going to be quite different. Different host as well. Yeah. We had Grant Bowler. He's an actor, I guess now. He's an actor.
Grant Bowler.
Yeah, one of my favourites.
Do you even know who that is?
I actually had it written down. Look, Grant
Oh,
Bowler.
did you really? Yeah, Grant Bowler.
Grant
So
Bowler.
now who is it? Bo Ryan?
Yeah, Bo Ryan.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you know
So-
who Bo Ryan is?
Is he a football player, but more NRL?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, gosh.
Ding,
I
ding, ding,
winged
ding,
that.
ding.
Well, you got two
winged
up on
that.
me. I thought you were talking about John Travolta or something on that.
Nah, Bo Ryan. So I'm actually I like Bo Ryan. I'm a big NRL supporter.
Big Bo
Okay.
fan.
What do you don't know? Do you think that he would do a good job?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty hard job to fail, I would think. All you're doing is saying go and then meeting people on the mat. So, and then
a lot of
obviously...
pressure on
No,
A
well,
lot of pressure for Bo Ryan if you fail.
it's like, he's going to kind of stick to the script, I would imagine. But, it's a pretty fun show to be a part of as it is. Yeah. So... if I was a contestant and I was running up to him, I wouldn't give a shit. As long as I was getting to that mat before everyone else, I wouldn't care who was standing in front of me.
Just rip that little card straight out of his hand.
100%.
And then give him the old big don't argue straight to the chin.
Dusty Martin.
The fend.
Is that all he does? Like waits at the map for you?
Pretty much.
So has he got it worse than the Survivor host?
Nah, so
Jonathan would probably be a bit more.
JP has to do a shit.
He's got to interrogate
because he's
you.
got to be there for every challenge. Where
okay.
Grant Bowler, or now it'd be Bo Ryan, he essentially just needs to meet you at the mat. Like he's not at all the challenges. You just see him at the end.
So all right. So can you
could do
imagine? Right, he gives you the card and says you need to be in Indonesia. Right.
Yeah.
You've got 12. I don't know if there's a time.
That
limit. Is
actually
there a time
happened to
limit?
us. We left from the MCG and there's no time limit. You got to get there as fast as you can. And the first place we went was to Indonesia.
Yeah, because I watched all the helicopters on the.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, there was like 20 helicopters on the oval.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously it's all like smoke and mirrors, it's television. Yeah. On that day, this is like insider knowledge, we all didn't go there by helicopter. Some of it was pre-filmed, but they did get 11 helicopters and they all did land, but some of the teams were already there. Renee and I, though, we got to go to the airport, go on the helicopter and actually arrive. So we were one of the lucky ones that got the full experience on that day.
Oh, were the two rangers, were they the ones that weren't allowed on the helicopter? They're like, you're the two
that.
rangers. Sorry, rangers, you have to just
Don't
stand
Get a
say
taxi.
that. Mel,
You know?
Mel and her sister. Do you know who Mel is? Mel was a radio host. She was the one that was involved in that the Royal Prank. She was actually on my season, remember?
What's the Royal Prank?
You know the Royal Prank? She, it was actually really tragic for
Sounds
her.
amazing.
It wasn't. Somebody committed suicide over it. So,
Oh,
remember
that
the-
one.
I do remember.
Oh.
So Mel was actually in my season, and she was the radio host that was a part of that, unfortunately. So
That was
she
to the-
is a
the,
legend.
hospital? Was it?
Yeah,
The hospital?
yeah.
What did they
yeah.
say? They said that...
They managed to get through. I don't want to bring it up, but they managed to get through to the hospital pretending that they were like the
That's
Queen
right.
or
Yeah, the
something to
Queen,
that
yeah.
degree, right? So really, really unfortunate. She took a massive toll on her life after that, but she's been able to rebuild herself, and she had like a marriage breakdown, and she's all back to she's all gung ho. So she's actually a legend.
Yeah.
So, but I think she actually did get to go in the helicopter that one day.
Did she? Ah. Oh, so very, yeah.
There you go. Fun fact.
No, the raggers get perks. no. I just looked at the contestants and
Yeah. I think their hair was more blonde, and they actually made them dye it more orange for that purpose.
Channel 7.
Yeah, man, they're cutthroat.
They're behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Imagine that, like they're dyeing her hair orange.
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Bullying.
So that was okay. So you this is what I was going to wonder. So
Yep.
they say go. You all leg it. You're all running down the pitch, and you're trying to get to Indonesia or something straight away.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if you get to the airport and you see Bo Ryan on a plane? Would you just jump in a taxi and follow him, or
Doesn't happen.
How does he get there?
Yeah.
A weirdly way when like.
Okay, so obviously I never watched it because I was the one that was running.
Yeah.
But as soon we have a few challenges to do before we even get to the airport. So that one on that particular day was we had to climb. One of us had to climb. And I did it with a girl called Renee.
Yeah,
She's
Renee,
like 6'1". She came running up to Jacinta Campbell, Miss Universe, like the year prior or something.
Yeah.
So she had to go up on one of the light towers on the MCG and then like abseil down or something. And then we had to find our own way to the airport. So between that time, that takes like an hour, 2 hours. Grant Bowler's like legging it to the airport and getting on the first flight. And they've obviously had that mapped out.
What?
So they tie you up for a few hours, then the host would be pretty much on the plane.
And you
to
never
Indonesia.
saw that. We never saw any other crew going on nowhere to go.
Because
Like,
you were
we
just
never
battling
saw it.
to get to the destination.
I didn't see a producer. The only time you see the producers is when you get to like the challenge. Like you see the flag that you're meant to see and you get to the challenge to do it. Other than that, we never saw anyone. Like you're actually on your own besides your one camera guy and your one microphone dude.
Do you have to...
you'd be pretty friends with your cameraman and that. Like
You're always in a team. No.
Okay.
No, not really.
Do you have to book your own flight? So you go to the airport and then book the flight?
Yep. So I believed it changed over, I think there was like 3 or 4 seasons when it was with Channel 7. So I believed it changed. So we had the Qantas frequent flyer card or whatever it was, credit card. So every time you would run to the airport, instead of saying, I need 2 tickets to get to Indonesia, you'd actually say you would actually need 4. But for the camera, you'd say I need 2, and then you go, I actually need 4. And then you'd put them on that credit card.
What, getting first class and all that
Not
jazz?
allowed to get first class. So there's rules.
Would you be held
There's stuff that you don't see.
Would you be held spewing if your cameraman was held fat? You'd be like, oi, bro.
Nah, man, you make them run.
you
But
ain't
it's same like you know as in Survivor. You've got rules where you can't do certain things outside of certain boundaries. You've always got to have that camera crew. If you're going to say anything, they need to be around you. Otherwise, they just make you repeat it.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like reading your
I
clues.
understand.
If you want to quickly read it and go, you can't. It's for television. It's all a television show. Everyone
Which is
does the
fine,
same thing.
like that,
Yeah, of course.
As long
That's
as
why you're
like,
there.
Constantly making it harder on yourself by
Yeah,
reading too
you don't
fast
want to read it twice. So I made sure I was always reading. I was very clear, said it once, so we could just do that and get out of there. So that's how you actually do it. It's not always a team of 2. It's a team of 4.
Did Renee ever slow you down?
Never. Have you fucking seen her?
No, like you just say it off the camera there. Nah, just joking.
Renee, don't listen.
Nah, I'm just joking. She wasn't.
No, she was a weapon, and I believe that's. I'm not going to say it was all her, but we were a very good team because she's very athletic. She's very strong.
Had you done any traveling before Amazing Race, or was that just like
maybe
bang, like you just
Japan and like Bali or something?
Okay.
She'd never like been anywhere, so I don't know. You just throw caution to the wind and you just do it.
And how did you decide? So how did you just sit down one day and go, "There's the application"? Like,
Okay.
Was it advertised? Or
It was getting okay. This is actually funny because what we were talking about before. I saw an article that they were trying to get Ben Cousins to be the host. Right?
Could you imagine Ben Cousins?
Oh, that'll be good now.
He's not even at the end of the slide. Where the hell Ben
Imagine how
Cousins?
many times it take him to read the card, like the instructions. And then he'd like climb up the MCG pole on his own.
Guys,
there's no one here.
You're not even on this show. What are you doing?
is still laying in bed.
so okay.
Getting a haircut.
Sorry.
No, guys. I mean, please.
So what? So he.
I just saw an article. I don't even think it was true.
Oh, okay.
But then that's when I realised that Amazing Race was coming. So I actually applied with a guy. And I don't even know, I'm just going to say it anyway. It's not with Channel 7 anymore. So I applied with a guy and the producers or whoever came back to me and said, we don't want him, we want you, and we want you to find another girl that's like
How do you
you.
take that?
He was fine with it.
Did you tell
Was he?
him?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, they called him too, but I called him. He didn't mind because it was my idea in the first place.
Okay.
I wasn't
what he
dating him. He was like my dance partner, so it
Is he
wasn't.
still alive?
Yeah. He's an architect. Like he's doing more than okay.
Is he the guy that was in the friend zone?
No, never. We were dance partners. And he's not gay.
Ah.
No.
So then I suppose he saved himself a coming second,
Well,
potentially.
yeah, potentially.
But then again, the experience of Amazing Race is something would just be. Wait,
One of
do
the best.
people get eliminated?
Yeah.
So it's like elimination.
Yeah.
10 people in.
Yeah.
So it's whoever's the slowest
Yeah.
gets eliminated.
Yeah. So I wanted to apply. Contacted Renee. She'd never heard of it. So I was like, just do me a favour and just apply with me. Literally the next day, producers called us, said, can you come to Sydney? We want to see you. And I just knew. It was like that feeling, like I just knew we were going to be on it. It's kind of the same when I applied for Survivor. I just knew that was going to happen. So, yeah, and we managed to get on and we basically left. As soon as they tell you, you leave like 2 days later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you get sent to lockdown and you've got to learn the rules and you do all your pre-production
Did you have
stuff.
a job when you applied?
I did, yeah.
How'd you break the news on them that you got 2 days and not going to go?
I had given my boss at the time the heads up
Yeah.
of what I was doing. Yeah, and then as soon as I got in, I said I'm leaving. I had annual leave. Yeah.
You should have just said like, oh, look, man, I think I've got a 2-month gastro. Gastro's going to
I think they're going to know when it comes out on bloody television.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you travelled around to 22 cities,
Yeah.
11 countries.
I always thought it was 12 countries, but okay, we'll go 11.
Okay, so what country did you find it was like the hardest to navigate? Like, language barriers, because obviously the season's coming up now.
Yep.
And you've got all these pairs, and they're going to go to these countries, and they're going to have to deal with them. But where do you reckon was the one that kind of like maybe, kind of was like
Sri Lanka. Yeah, and it's almost guaranteed because we're in Australia, it's really easy to get to the Asian countries. So no doubt they're going to do like 2 or 3 legs in the Asian.
They're the
Plus
worst
it's
taxi
cheap.
drivers too. I struggle with like, I need to go to my house. My house.
Tuck-tucks.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard because of the way that they communicate and nod, say like yes or no. They do this because that's in their culture. So I'm like, is that a yes or a no? Like I don't know.
Oh, they don't even answer you.
Well, when they answer, I think yes, it's like this. And to me, that's a no. So when you're in a rush...
I've never said no like that.
If you Google it, YouTube
okay.
it. So I know at the
never said
time,
no like
Renee
that.
and I were like...
So that's yes, and what's no?
No, I don't know. I think it's for both.
Ask me if you like me.
Do you like me? Yeah.
That doesn't
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think that's right.
I'll take a maybe.
I know.
I'll take a maybe.
So that was probably one of the hardest to navigate. They're all hard because you're like... You don't want to talk to people like an idiot, but you're like, I need to go. And they're looking at you like, I don't know, because you don't have any help. So you're generally yelling at people like, who speaks English? Who speaks English to
showing them the
translate
map.
for you? Because, you generally have to drive or...
Did you ever lose your
forever.
cool? Like that wasn't shown on the camera where you were like...
I jackknifed a trailer and a car in South Africa.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I lost my shit because I thought we were going to lose. We didn't, but...
You got to steer the wheel towards the way you want the trailer to go.
I know that now.
Yeah.
I feel they never asked me to like do anything for it. I don't know for that.
With that question, how much of the country do you get to experience the country at all, or are you just in that mad rush to try and get to the finish line that you don't see anything?
So each leg is quite different. So you don't know how many. Sometimes a leg could be 2 days. Sometimes it could be like 3.5 days. You don't know when it's going to end. They don't give you any indication. So it really depends. Throughout my stint, so when we filmed all up, it was about 3.5 weeks back to back. However, within there, I feel like there was 2, maybe 24-hour gaps that they gave us a little bit more extended time off. So once you get to the map,
chill in the room.
you need to wash your clothes because you've only got your backpack. You need to wash your clothes, or when
you have to hang 'em up?
It's so different to Survivor. So when you jump on that mat and you're done. As soon as you're done, they look after you. They were giving you electrolytes. They were giving you chocolate. That you go to your exit interviews where you do your pieces
like
to camera.
stops.
They're like pit stops, and you get to go sleep. You get to go eat. There was 2 times where we got to do a little bit longer, and they let us go out together on like a bus. I think that was in like South Africa and
That's all right.
another. I can't even remember where else. Maybe I actually can't.
So
remember
you at
that
least
place.
get to pause and take in the scenery,
because you're
and the culture and
exhausted when
stuff for at
you're
least a
going
day or
back
so.
to back. Like it's like in Survivor after all these challenges, you're exhausted, right? So when you're doing that back to back, they do have like a duty of care where they need to look after you to an extent.
But it's not
it
like you
is
go home with
very
like
full
an
on.
album full of photos from your journey.
Yeah, and you don't get to call home or like
Yeah.
you get nothing. You don't have any money. You're in lockdown. You're basically
Yes,
in
no,
your... Yeah, we were getting taped into our room so you couldn't leave.
Taped in.
Yeah, because you're like a massive asset to them.
Yeah.
That's a massive, like
Yeah.
a multi-million-dollar
Well,
show to
it's
film.
halfway through the show if something happens or whatever. Well, it's also ruining it.
Absolutely.
You know, they know that they won't be able to air the show for up to 2 months potentially while they edit and cut the whole show.
Yeah.
And if you're going and telling someone, do you want to know a funny story? So when
Yeah.
I was on Survivor the first time, 2017, I got eliminated and we went to, so I'm in Merge and we get kept together and we're like hidden, you know, as you said, we're locked in, but we're hidden.
Yeah.
And we were, they decided to let us go to the beach on Fiji kind of thing. So
Do you have a minder with you at this point?
Yeah. So they've got 2 minors.
Yeah.
So it's like we're would you say, expensive luggage or expensive, you know, we no one's supposed to know who we are. We're never supposed to be seen as a group. But so we went to a secluded beach. Now we're in Fiji. I've never been to Samoa. Never been to Samoa. I've never been, and I'm sitting on the beach, and then legit a mate walks up, and goes Toki, and I'm like, and I'm with the whole Merge, and I'm like, oh hey bro.
Did he switch on?
Nah, and he's like, and I was
What
like,
are you
you know, and then I was like, so I tried to get him away from the group, so then he couldn't.
Is the
kinda-
minder just looking at you
so
like...
he's just like, he's full chill. Like, he's like, yeah, bro, what's
Your mate.
going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, talking to him. And then one of the chaperones walked over and was like, Luke, you cannot be talking with this guy
You're
right
like,
now.
I'm not
and I was like,
trying
hey,
to,
brother, I got to
man.
go, you know? And he was like, yeah. And then, it was just so strange.
Did he switch
Yeah.
on to what was going on at all?
I think he got, like, I gave him that little, like, awkward look. And he was like, I had to go. And he was like, yeah, no, all good.
Did he
So
get in contact with you afterwards and
no
say,
one
oh my
yours-
God, like this is what you're doing?
Yeah, of course.
He's
yeah,
like,
so-
that's why you're being such a
Yeah,
dick.
yeah. And because obviously I hadn't told anyone about Survivor. So the thing is, how
Yeah.
was he going to sit there and click on that I was on Survivor when he would never
Yeah,
have
of
picked
course.
it up?
Yeah.
But it was just so weird that
Yeah.
I was seen with the group. you
Yeah,
know?
I don't think we saw anyone when we were around,
Yeah.
when we were running around the world. Because you generally do. It's like
you can.
you go to
Especially if you're
bloody...
at Bali.
That's right.
Imagine that.
It's true, actually. We're
Survived the Bali.
The next stop is at Kuta, the Bounty. At 9 o'clock at night on
I wish.
And Bo Ryan's going to be there with a mankini on. Drinking jungle juice. God, imagine that. You'd see all your friends.
You would see a few of them.
No, so yeah, that's... Yeah, what else? What other questions do you have? This is like bringing back all the memories for me.
Ready for
already
him.
asking
Yeah,
for
man.
another question.
Keep them rolling.
Okay, what felt worse?
Oh, God.
Coming second in Amazing Race or being blindsided in Survivor?
Coming second in Amazing Race.
Oh, of course.
100%.
Did you cry a little bit?
No, never.
No?
It wasn't.
like
This
me
sounds stupid, and everybody's probably going to say.
No.
Everybody's going to say, "Well, she's just saying that," but that Amazing Race experience is money can't buy. Like, no amount of money is ever going to give me that. Like, money comes and goes.
What about if you went on a holiday and you went to all those destinations?
Doesn't, but that's fine. I'm never
No,
going to
you
get the
can't,
same
'cause
experience.
They've got a film. You've got a film crew.
Yeah,
You've got the editing crew.
it's not even like that.
You've
It's
got
the
randoms,
challenges.
the people, and it's like this is the exact same comment I say to people about Survivor. I'm like,
Yeah.
even if I was like worth $5 million, I don't think $5 million would actually cut the experience.
Well, look at what Janine went on. She doesn't need the money. Like, she went on it purely for that experience, right? So I think it's the same type of thing.
And she'd do it again.
Yeah.
She would
She
probably
went
do
deep
it.
too, didn't she?
She'd probably do it again.
She'd probably win it too. She's
you know,
good.
yeah, she's good.
Where'd she
you
come?
know.
Get her out straight away.
She comes 7th, maybe.
Yeah. So
something like that.
you came 7th in your
7th
season.
last
I remember
time,
you
yeah.
telling me that on the beach.
Yeah,
You came
I
7th.
felt like that she kind of dropped off where I did, and Pia was Jericho, and
Yeah,
Jericho.
yeah,
and that's how I
yeah.
kind of like in a way, like just that
Yeah.
it was weird comparison, different girls. And
Yeah,
boys,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Same
No, I know,
type
I
of
know what you
thing,
mean.
You know?
Yeah. But nah, like coming second in Amazing Race, it sucked in that moment, and I was like, because we actually didn't win because of me. It was actually in Rockingham, so around the corner.
what?
Because we had to guess.
Yeah, Harrison Island.
Yeah, so what happens, we went all around Perth. We arrived at the airport, went to Kings Park, went to Fremantle Prison, then had to go to some beach in Rockingham. And what the challenge was, and it was up to me, because you have to split the challenges. So you have to kind of work them out strategically. And we wanted me to go last because we knew that was going to involve remembering something or, I don't know, you got to use your brain. So not that Renee can't, but it was just decided that I would.
You
So,
could more.
right. So it was working out which countries that you had been to in order. Piece, knew that.
Yeah.
And you were allowed to study a little bit as well. You were allowed to go use PCs, or we did. And you had to know the countries in order, but also know their national flags. But instead of having just their national flags and having a process of elimination or whatever you want to call it, they gave you extra flags. And I don't know all the flags of all those countries. I was not paying attention when I was on the mat and they were potentially around, or at the airport. I didn't look at the bloody flags. So I knew as soon as we got there, the sun was setting. I remember we've been gone for 3.5 weeks and I know my family's 20 minutes away. I was like, Renee, I don't know this. We were there for hours. And that's another thing. You're the same for Survivor. You're there for hours. That was the last one.
And you just were struggling.
Yeah, and we were
so
coming
bad.
flying in from Singapore. We were coming third. Then as soon as we got to the Freo prison, we were coming second because we overtook a team. Got to the got to the Rockingham Beach, and the two surfer boys, the Bondi boys, Nate and Tyler, they were there. They were smashing through it, and then they got stuck for a few hours too, and then eventually they got it, and then I finally got it, but they had already gotten to the finish line before we'd gone there.
Heartbreaking. Do you know what? I've never been good at that type of stuff.
It's
either.
hard.
You
It's
know?
hard.
This is a teachable moment though. Stay in school and do your homework.
Well, yeah. Well, with people
Yeah, so
have
that's something I wish.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish
true,
I and I tried to say to people as much as I can, do your homework
Did
when
you
you're
go
in
to year
it.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just no,
No,
kidding.
yes,
No,
I was just. I was just like, yeah. I got to.
No, yeah. So stuff like that. If I was going to talk to anybody that was going on Amazing
Learn your
Race,
countries
go and work it out.
flags.
Or just be
That's
quiet.
inside knowledge right now.
Yeah,
It would make sense to know-
Yeah, you are going around the world
To
It's
know
like-
your geography.
Do you know what? It's funny. It's like when you go on Survivor, things that help you is learning how to fire, and also learning the actual picture of Survivor when you do puzzles.
Yeah,
'Cause
but I feel like it's everywhere around us when we're
Yeah,
there.
it is,
you
but
know?
some people still don't take it in.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like to have the actual idea where there's a skinny flag up the middle.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a few things that stand out that you can kind of picture and put it together.
Yeah.
But I suppose if you're going around the world, flags. But I would never think of that. And
But
I don't
even
do
in
pre-work stuff like that.
I think in America they've done ones where you've got to look at all the pictures of when you get to each mat at the end of each leg, there's a girl standing there, native from that country. Remember her face because it could be her face in all the faces in order. Stuff like that. So you got to kind of remember stuff throughout your journey of each leg. And it's hard because you're not concentrating on that. But
You
if you
just
get to that
speed.
final 3, guarantee you that last...
That's stuff you would never know unless you've been on it though. Eh?
I know.
Or listen to the
unless
Toki
you
and the
watch
Crow
it,
podcast.
Unless you watch it. You might, you know.
Yeah, sitting
You
down
learn.
and watching it. But sometimes, even when you sit down and watch it, it doesn't stick.
No, it
someone doing
doesn't.
the puzzle or someone doing the thing. You get on the Reddit forums or you get on, the super fan
Yeah, the
things,
super
and they
fans,
will
you know.
actually give you those little insights and
Yeah.
stuff, or podcasts or speaking like that. I think that's huge.
Yeah. But that's only because I know, because I've done it, right?
Mm.
So it's all great now. Maybe they'll do an All-Stars one day.
Ooh, All Stars,
Maybe.
Amazing
Amazing
Race.
Race. Maybe.
Yeah, that would be
Surprised
good.
I haven't done that already.
Because what is this? Okay, so the season that's coming up right now is season.
I think it's season 4.
Season four.
I think they
it
did
is.
3 seasons with Channel 7.
Yeah.
And they were almost back to back. And then I don't know, I think they dropped in ratings. So we're gonna want to hope that they, I don't know, do well with the ratings. It would be hard to surpass.
Do you know what?
the
I think
Survivor,
Channel
though.
10 are doing things quite well.
Yeah. Well, Big
They-
Brother's coming back too. hey?
Yeah, I don't know if 10 will probably get that. I don't know. Maybe. But
They
I
didn't
just,
have it
I
last
just
time,
like the
didn't
way that
Yeah, they did.
the shows are made
Oh, they did?
at the moment.
Yeah.
All the Bachelor, all the Bachelorettes, they've the cinematography and the way they do it, and the Survivor is just off the chain
Survivor
at the
was
moment.
epic. It was epic.
really
Even though
good.
I was in it and you were in it,
yeah.
if I wasn't in it, it was awesome.
Yeah. It was It
Yeah.
was just like the set. Can you remember? Okay, so you were obviously when you first, we first met each other.
Yeah.
We were all sitting there in separate things, and then the first time you went to tribal and you're holding your torch, or no, you weren't even holding your torch, you got to stick it in fire. When you're going up that lane and then you're sitting in it, how did you feel? When you're sitting in that chair,
it sucked being at
like,
tribal, but it is the most surreal moment because you dream about that stuff if you wanted to go on a Survivor, like,
it's
and all of a sudden it's real.
It's so much better, nearly real life.
Because it's so legit. Like I think people just think like it's a set, but it's like a full on like treehouse. That
it's
we
like
were
a set.
in, right?
Like we're on this little set, but they have gone like above and beyond, and
everything's camouflaged.
And there's cameramen you can't even see. All you can see is the round circle of the the camera in the dark of a tree house. So you can't even see the people. It's like you are on this set getting filmed from every single angle with like $40,000 cameras. Yeah. And you are just having to act it out and hope that you don't stuff up.
It's so scary though, because you don't know what JP is going to ask you. Yet everyone around you can talk so well. I was like, what's JP going to ask me?
He's good, eh?
He's so good.
Yeah, he
so
holds
good.
it down.
Yeah.
What is So all right, so I got another. I got another one. So Amazing Race, right?
Okay, yeah.
So have you seen any of the contestants?
Only a couple that have been released.
So
I'm keeping my tabs.
I've actually got some photos for you.
All right.
All right. So now we want to know your opinion.
Okay.
Right. And how you think these guys will go and whatever. Just
purely. Is it purely on the way that they look?
Purely by the way they look.
All
which,
right.
like, maybe Survivor you could gauge it a little bit different, but I don't know how Amazing Race, the way you look, helps.
No, I don't reckon it's going to help. It looks can be deceiving, but
We're literally going to judge a book by its cover here.
We are judging right. And
I like it.
We are all having a very honest opinion about.
Send them my way next.
The first contestant we have.
Write it down.
Ready is meet Sid and Ash, the influencers leaving Bondi. Is it Bondi?
Okay.
Bondi. Well, I've never been there, so
You've heard it before.
Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, Bondi Rescue. Is that that's that show? Meet
Bondi
Sid
Beach.
and Ash, the influencers leaving Bondi to join the Amazing Race Australia. All right, have a quick look at him. It's like Jesus is like gone full.
He looks like my homie Mad Dog.
Really? Yeah.
But Mad Dog gets called Mad Dog for a reason, so maybe he's a chance.
He looks like Mad Dog from Midland.
Let's have a look.
His missus looks like
Mad Dog from Midland. That's
I
on the
do.
block, bro.
Yeah. His missus look like she might hold him back.
So I did see the ad for these guys, and I don't think it was a good ad. I think it was him, and he was stealing something from someone.
Was it him getting shitty? No, it was another guy.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh,
but
so
I think he was.
stealing.
I think he was stealing like wontons of someone or something. So stuff like that, it feels good at the time, but people will try and fuck you over.
Oh, so
because
what?
you can do stuff to other people at certain times in the leg to make people like come last.
What would you do if
you?
someone stole your wonton?
100%.
What would you do?
What would you do if they stole your
I think
wonton?
you can put them on like a U-turn, or you can make them go back to do like another thing. So.
Oh, so if you get an advantage, you can pick who you want to put that person
100%.
on. Oh, wow, this is cool.
I thought you were going to be like, I'll roll up with my 9 or something if they took my wonton.
What do you think about his missus? Is his missus?
Yeah, she's a bit of a babe, but she'll have to hold. Hopefully, like he looks pretty fit, maybe, and she looks pretty.
What do you think about their
hopefully she's
clothes?
smart. Yeah, they make you do that, dude.
What?
They make you match.
It's true. They do match.
I reckon she looks
they
like...
made that you got to have your
But
look.
do you reckon that they decided that she wanted to wear that and then they had to match it with him?
Yeah.
Like, because what he's wearing is like very strange. It looks like who's that guy that killed everybody? Charlie Manson.
Charlie
Manson's wearing
That's
wearing his PJs. You know. Like, I'm going to kill yourself, kill you, and then I'm going to
wear your pajamas.
lay with you while you're dead and go to sleep in your pajamas kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one dude.
right.
Sid and Ash from Bondi.
I reckon they'll get out about 5th or 6th.
Ooh, look at that. The crystal ball.
Yeah, it's
Here we go.
Yep.
I'm going to say 9th. How many are in that?
So we've
11.
I think
Should be
so far we've only got they've only released 4 people.
There should be 11 running in the season.
11 all
That's
up?
how many we had. Yeah.
Next crew is meet Femi and Nick, the 2 nurses joining the Amazing Race. So they
look fun.
Yeah, they do look fun.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
They do look fun.
They look like all of a sudden like
Is there another word for fun?
they look aggressively fun. Like
they look like they might be too much.
too much.
Do you know what I mean? And they're in the same profession, so there could be a fair bit of
hey?
yeah, there could be a lot of bickering here.
They've
Do
been
you know what I mean?
smart though.
Well,
That's what I think.
nurses. Have you ever seen a nurse run?
I haven't seen one. Oh, I've seen one running the emergencies.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I got a friend in New York who's a nurse. I'll hit him up, see if he runs. But I can see this going pear-shaped, eh? Like, Nick, hey, Femi, like, what are you doing, man?
Are they two brothers? Or what do you reckon? Do you reckon they're brothers?
Oh, you're just saying it.
Do you reckon they're brothers?
No, I reckon they're just friends.
They could be friends.
They're just
They're
friends.
lovers. Come on.
They're not lovers.
Come on.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
two nurses,
I reckon they will.
surely.
I reckon they're going to get out like third or fourth.
Surely you
They're
got.
going to get out before those.
So what do you reckon?
They're together.
Are they friends? You reckon friends?
I reckon they're friends.
With
You
ben-
reckon they're gay lovers?
I reckon they're friends, minimum friends with benefits.
Okay,
Minimum.
like, look, I think they could. I reckon I'll put my money on them. I reckon
People will like them.
You reckon they're going to do well?
People will like them.
Yeah.
People will like
People like
it.
fun people.
But people liking you isn't going to get you further.
Oh, yeah, sorry, we're talking about winning the race. He looks a bit oversized, so maybe no good.
Right, the next couple that we have, the Amazing Race contestants Femi Ongangzing and Nicholas Ebevon, which I think they're a married couple.
Also lovers. Yep.
No, I don't think they're. Is that Nicholas? Is that? Are they married?
I can't tell. I can't tell, bro.
So they're I think they are nurses. Are they nurses?
Hang on, let's have a look.
Send it
Yeah,
over. This
have a
is
look. No, they're the nuns.
No, these
They're
are the nuns. So
Yeah,
that's the same. That's the
right.
same
I
thing.
thought, are they both doubling up on nurses here?
Are they both
I
women?
didn't know the whole hospital was doing the Amazing Race.
Yeah, who's going to be saving
yeah,
people?
they're the nuns.
Yeah, they're the nuns.
Oh, that's really hard because I think like
so if they're
God
nuns,
bless,
does that mean
God
they
bless
haven't?
them.
Does that mean they haven't at all ever? You know what I'm talking about?
Potentially.
Played Amazing Race. Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I don't know. I was going to say.
Well, you had that look on
Okay.
your face.
It's a fair
I know
chance.
what you were implying.
And do you reckon is that are they girlfriends or boyfriends?
Yeah, I can tell.
They're nuns, man.
Oh, do you know what? All I know is all of a
They've
sudden
got
when
God on their side.
yeah, do you know one thing I actually no,
No, they're both
So it's a
women.
chick
both
named
women.
Nicholas.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. that's-
okay, no. So
it's-
those names are from the previous ones. It's been repeated.
oh really?
I'm almost sure.
Is that what's
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that's Femi and Nick, and that's you've got Femi and Nick here.
Nicholas, yeah.
No,
Oh,
so I think you've
so
you've
that's
done that
what's done.
twice. So that's not Femi. Do you want me to see who it is?
So that was a massive stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
fun.
somehow we've like we've written the Nicholas, which is actually we put the
I was wondering, like, are they both chicks?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So they are both chicks, and one's not named Nicholas.
Okay, so the two
No, I
nurses,
stuffed up with the names.
Judy and
Oh,
Teresa.
yeah,
That makes sense. They look like a Judy and a Therese.
Judy and Teresa.
It was Judy,
Teresa.
because on top of their names it said.
I'm looking at his chest, trying to see, are you a chick or a dude? Nicholas.
So, all right, that was a massive stuff up. I accidentally, there was a girl's name written above, and Nicholas is ever one on top of one of the other girls. So
Judy.
They're,
And
they're gonna get out. They're gonna get out. I reckon.
Do you
maybe
reckon?
second.
you reckon?
Yeah.
straight up.
I loved the video and I thought they were hilarious.
Yeah, they probably but that doesn't get you far, man.
Yeah, they're like, we've got the big man with us. Like they were
No,
talking about
it's-
the big,
it's great.
Oh,
the big-
God.
yeah, they're talking about they'll talk about me probably. No, like they're talking about
Talking about
God.
the last fella.
Like they've got God on their side, you know. And anyone that has God on their side,
You're going to lose.
you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be first boot. Oh God! All right. So, any more to say about them?
Nah, case closed.
that would be fun to watch.
Out early.
Yeah.
Out very early. Because
What do you reckon
Yeah.
they'll be doing on their downtime if they get 24 hours?
Praying.
experimenting.
Knitting.
I reckon they'll be experimenting with new tactics for the race.
No, do you know what? I reckon that. Do you know what? I'm actually going to call it right now. They're underdogs, and I like a good underdog. So Femi and Nicholas. wait, what's the name?
Judy and Teresa.
Judy and Teresa. Then all of a sudden, I'm backing you. All right.
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not.
You're cancelling them.
All right.
I'm brutal. You're like, you want my opinion?
You are brutal. All right. Next and last pair. They are the Orange Wiggles.
They look like
North Melbourne rookie Tom Wilkinson on the left had quit the AFL and signed up as a contestant on the program.
I've heard this.
canning him already.
Pictured
Why would you turn your back on an
Tyler
AFL career?
Roos. cool. He's actually name's Tyler Roos, and he was playing for North Melbourne. Oh no, Tom Wilkinson and other stuff.
You haven't done your research, Rolly. I'm not happy with these two. They don't look strong.
They're going to do well.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah. Because they remind me of Tyler and Nathan, the two Bondi boys.
That's because his name's
If
Tyler.
you're like fit and strong,
Yeah.
It
so
helps
they
you
can
a
run
lot.
fast. And they
yeah,
can kinda
it just helps you.
Yeah.
It really, if you're fit, it helps
Have you seen them? They're in the back of the taxi and they're going faster, faster, faster to the taxi driver. And the
And they're in
taxi driver
traffic?
must have got annoyed, so he was like slowed it right down. And he was like, went even slower.
They're probably doing that because they're so young. That's their first car ride ever, and they're just enjoying it. That's what I would
They do look young.
They look
They
like
do look
they're from
young.
an American season, don't you reckon?
Do you reckon
They look?
Yeah, they do look American a little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah, they got that American look.
He looks doughy. I reckon
Are they-
he'll be the weaker
He
link.
looks doughy.
He does.
Yeah, he does. He does look a bit doughy. He's so
me
he's
wrong.
the older one, huh? He's the older one.
I'm not sure.
So they're brothers.
Are
no,
they?
they can't. No,
Nah.
they're not. They're actually not. Again,
Can I throw a challenge
They
out there?
must be like footy player.
Who, like, surely when they picked the shirt, they like imagine old boy. I bet you the older one picked the orange one off the rack.
No.
This
Dude,
is a
you
goer.
know that's all producers.
Do you
stuff.
reckon
know
they
that.
rocked up?
but
Do you reckon
you
they?
still-
They
but
make you,
I
like-
know they do.
We
but it
wore
doesn't-
camo and pink.
I totally understand that. I know they do, but it doesn't mean that we can't pay them out because they have no choice.
I'll tell you what.
Decide-
I'll tell you 100% what's happened here. Tyler's rocked up, and 5 minutes later, Tom's rocked up, and he goes, "You're fucking kidding me. We talked about the orange shirts." So now they're stuck there with two orange shirts.
100%.
Always call ahead. Always call ahead.
yeah, they both picked.
I reckon he
off the
slapped
rack.
him up too. That's why he looks doughy.
Yeah. Well, that's them. Now, okay, I've got this other one.
Oh
where-
fuck! I just saw that. That's weird.
Yeah, so I know I'm snooping.
What
Right?
is that?
This is you come on our show.
Did you go back on my
I
IG?
did went back. Yeah, I went back.
Alright.
Because you're a guest. That's what I do.
Okay. I need to get rid of those
I do
photos.
research. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's Sammy. That's what I do. So I went back on your Instagram, had a bit of browse, and I found something.
All right.
And I didn't know you were such a big Batman fan.
I'm a massive. Well, I used to be a massive Batman fan.
Yeah, look,
Nice.
rocking the Batman hoodie. What year was that?
It's a onesie.
Oh, is it a onesie?
It's a full
Oh.
onesie.
Oh.
That would have been around the same time as.
Was that
Amazing
was that
Race.
photo taken in Gotham, or was that?
Where's Robin?
Can I have a look at it? Where am I? How embarrassing for my soul.
No, that's good shit. You got to remember those.
Oh, there's more
Them
photos.
are the good
Fuck
times.
you. I can't even remember, but I used to be a massive Batman fan.
do you,
Used to.
do you like Batman or Batwoman?
Batman.
Catwoman.
So I
Catwoman.
I did for my 30th birthday, all my girlfriends got jumpers made up.
Yeah.
The tagline was surely not 30 because my last name is Schoers. Yeah. And they got me a Batman sign like blown up on mine, and they all had like different ones. And then also for when I was doing my modelling when I was younger, I did like this costume and I was Batman. Actually, I came out as the Joker and then like spun around and I had changed my outfit and I was Batman.
That's good for breaking down barriers. You know, like a girl coming out as Batman.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Knock them down.
Crazy. You got a Batman onesie, and then all of a sudden I found a Batman hoodie.
Yeah, let me see. Fucking hell. I look weird there. How embarrassing. I was given that hat.
I like it's like I can see that if all of a sudden now if I ever see the Batman symbol
You're just going
in
to
the
think
sky,
of me?
You're
I'm
gonna
going to
think of your
feel
hat.
like that all of a sudden you're going to come save the day.
I can't even believe this
You
is
know?
a thing. I
Yeah.
can't even believe this is a
Yeah,
thing.
I did. That's what I do research.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. I can be Batman. Back in the
Sammy. Sammy. All right, there's enough of you with
more
your
spice
Batman
later.
stuff. So you've just moved on, obviously, from your VIP gaming manager job, which you
Yeah.
kind of did mention. You
Yeah.
spent a few years, it was about 7 years or something. in
10
there.
and a half years at Crown.
10.5 years.
Yeah,
All
Crown
right, we
Perth
didn't do
Casino.
my research properly. Now,
Yeah, just brag about his research.
what was the biggest bet you have ever seen someone put on?
Oh,
Because this excites.
I don't reckon
Ben.
it's actually not that
Yeah.
fun to talk about bets on because
People lose.
no. It's probably the biggest bets that I've seen win. That's more fun. So I was at work. It was actually after we had filmed Survivor and I was working really late.
So it's only just of
Yeah, a
late.
few months ago. And I was at work. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was on a Sunday morning. Like, so I worked Saturday night. And I think someone won. It was 3.2 million in the room that I operate, that I manage.
What game?
He was playing, I think, Texas Hold'em poker.
Did
It
he
was
get-
like
did he
Texas
get,
Hold'em. I think it was Texas
a
Hold'em.
raw flush.
Yes. So up
Damn.
on those, it's like a jackpot that kind of
Yeah, that
keeps
keeps
going. Yeah,
building.
and he won. I believe it was Royal Flush.
3
Yeah.
point. What did you do?
Well, I can't go into like who he is, but,
No, but,
him
like, did
and
he
his
dance?
How did he
family.
celebrate?
Yeah.
No,
how did he
he's
move? How did his body move?
High rollers are
He's-
professional.
He's the most humble person
Oh,
ever.
that's great. At
His
least it went
wife,
to
on the
him.
other hand, was like going mental because they were both in the room. But he was the like, you know, when you see people and they win lots of money and they're just so nice about it. That was him.
If
Like,
my
he's
missus
not
was
a
next to me
wanker.
when I won 3.2, I would not let her know that that's what's happened and just be super calm about it and then walk out. And
Is
then,
that how you reckon you act?
yeah,
So
just
you've already planned it out.
professional. I'll
He's
walk out.
He's already planned out
Yeah.
when he wins a big lump sum
That's
of money,
right.
what he's going to do.
Yeah, I just won't let on to my missus and we'll walk out, we'll go home and then she'll never see me again.
No,
No, that's a lie. I love her.
Yeah. You know she's going to
she'll
listen.
find out too. She'll find it out.
Oh, so yeah, you wanted to
I
ask
want to
something
know the
about
biggest losing
casino.
bet.
The biggest losing bet.
Oh.
So I only worked with, I didn't work with international patrons, so they lose millions,
Right.
like easily. But where I was working, like the bet's kind of capped. You can only
Yeah.
bet so much at a time. Well, no, actually, you can actually bet a lot. But in the, if you reside in Western Australia, you're a local patron. How much people lose? Couple 100,000.
If you're in the high rollers room, there wouldn't be too many bets that bother people if they lose.
No, absolutely.
Oh, true?
Yeah. Of course. Oh,
Because then they're not a high roller anymore.
no.
Do they get
you'll
moved
be,
to the medium? Do they get
Oh
to
my
move to the
God.
medium
You guys-
roller
you
table?
guys would
Come with me,
be-
sir.
We're like the low rollers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Waiting for him.
You guys are just on the main gaming floor.
We're the guys that get choked out and dragged out because we're arguing that obviously
Just using the machines for free
that
piss.
they're rorting us
Yeah.
at the $10 table. Yeah.
Yeah, we've only lost 12.
Yeah, you're just fucking shitty because we're winning when we're up like $120.
Bro, that Macca's feed later on is going to be free, I tell you.
Oh my God. Do you guys gamble?
No,
No,
way.
good. Don't.
Not really.
I'm not
Especially
a big
you
gambler.
now.
I talk it up.
Don't do
I got that money in that, but I was just
Never
like,
do
no,
it.
I'm not a big gambler. I might chuck like a couple bucks on
The races or footy or
like
something.
a footy or something.
Yeah,
like, so
yeah,
I'll watch
yeah.
a game of rugby and I'll chuck like a $5 bet on. Or something.
Yeah.
I
It
get
just
into
makes
a-
it a little bit more interesting.
I don't mind at work. Few of the boys at work, Paul and Jake, actually, shout out to them. They're good dudes. We try to get a little syndicate going on, and
Okay.
we lose all the time. I don't think I'm in the hole, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
gambling,
that's fun.
Gambling like is very.
You have to accept the wins and losses.
Yeah, I
you know?
see. I do see good. Like I do see a lot
Always.
of good wins, but far out.
Not often enough.
I've seen a lot of people like get tuned up. Like
Well, it's when
chew
you're
up,
going
spat
back
out.
to that ADM and you're sitting there withdrawing more money. I've
Yeah, I
sat there
see it.
and like people have been on a win and they're sitting down at a table and it's like 4 hours. They're sat on a table
Yeah.
and it's like and they're up and all good, but we're like, dude, we want to go home, you know?
Yeah,
and he's the driver.
But they don't even.
like
they
he's
don't
the
even
driver
feel
or something, and
good.
it's like,
They don't even feel like when they get those highs. Like obviously, I don't work for Crown anymore. Like I've tapped
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
I've seen people win like a phenomenal amount of money. Like they should be happy, but they're just not because they're only just recouping their losses. So like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
you
I
know.
understand. Yeah,
So it loses its kind of.
You ever seen a mad beatdown because someone's getting out of line?
So what?
Like a beatdown, like someone getting tuned up because they're acting out.
of course.
You know,
Meaning like
dragged into
security on
the
someone?
back room with the brass knuckles and that kind of jazz.
No comment.
No comment.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
comment.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of stuff there. Like I've seen a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of interesting
I've
patrons.
not even done a lot of stuff there.
Have you? Oh,
Well, no,
well,
actually, I haven't.
Don't
Oh,
say that,
Burswood.
Dad.
No, I haven't. Like, he's in betting. Like, and drinking. What God. Yeah. So, we'll leave the crown talk.
Yeah. We can edit the workplace out if you like.
It's
No,
always
yeah,
curious. It's
okay.
always curious how like people make these huge like gambling addiction and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
But
definitely
I
a
think it's
thing.
always it's like anything. There's always these people get drink too much. People
Yeah.
you know whatever. It's
a lot of
addictions
our
anything. TV. Even.
yeah,
Like people
yeah.
have addiction to TV. People have addictions to exercise.
Yeah,
People can
yeah.
over-exercise, and it's like, ooh.
Guilty.
A lot of people
Yeah.
that like to gamble.
I don't know what the proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, that's right. These noodle arms are upgrading the fettuccine arms.
A lot of people that like to gamble don't necessarily like to drink too much. I do know that.
You got to say
So they're
straight.
not massive drinkers. Yeah.
Okay. I took my grandma to Crown, and we were sitting at a time.
The
she's
gaming
blind.
machines?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
really?
blind. Yeah, she's blind. So we can't. I like take her out.
Was there
lunch.
braille on the buttons? I don't know.
No, not at all. But I just sat her there and I kept telling her just to tap,
Whack
tap,
it,
tap,
yep.
tap, you know. And I swear she had fun. It was like 45 minutes. She was just like this, and then she.
Well, she was tapping you.
No,
knew
but I
how
was
much
like,
mo-
but do you know what's funny? She actually started winning, and I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit! Like,
It's on a machine. Yeah, it can
and I was
absolutely
like,
happen.
dude, you just won like another like $50, and she was like, yeah, boy.
we had a win in Vegas, right? We were in Vegas a few years back, and we'd been in this nightclub all night. Come out, it was like 6 a.m, and my missus loves Elvis, and there was an Elvis machine right out the front. We had a $100 bill on us and put it in, and bang, just like the biggest button that you can press on there, and they come back with like $3,500 or something. Lasted the next
Yeah,
night.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, but then we did it again on a different machine. Same situation. Boom, win.
Yeah,
Covered
okay.
the next night. Done.
Happens a lot in Vegas too. A lot of people went out there.
I actually hung out
Lot
with
of
the
people
Wu-Tang
playing-
Clan in Vegas.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just throw that one in there.
I haven't been to Vegas.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, crazy! All right, so I got one more. Did you vote for Dave or me when you got blindsided?
I voted for Dave. I was
Lucky.
going to
Yeah,
vote
because
for
I was
you.
thinking, I was like, did you vote? No, I couldn't remember.
I voted for Dave. I actually always had thought that I'd voted for you for some reason. It wasn't until the app actually played that I realised I didn't vote for you.
Is there?
But the thing is, right, okay, so let's talk about this
Yeah, let's
for
talk
a hot
about
minute.
it.
Because I
We're
don't know
going
how
Survivor.
much we've talked about.
Yeah, we haven't.
We'll get
we
into
haven't.
Survivor.
All right, so we're back to Survivor.
Okay. As soon as I saw you, I know I needed to get rid of you. You were lethal to have in that competition. I knew that. But because you're so fucking charming, you can charm the pants off anyone. So I knew it was going to be really, really hard.
I had it
When
done
we
before.
got over...
Look, they're coming off now.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah.
So when we like tribe swapped, like literally not for 1 minute did I think I was ever going to be in danger. Like I was like, you guys are gone. Like I was so comfortable.
You went early, didn't you?
No. So it was it was like this tribe swap.
I was 16
We've got-
days. I was a 7.
okay.
Yeah, she
so
did
it's
really
still,
well,
still,
yeah.
still a fair whack.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a crazy 24 hours.
Crazy 24 hours. So it was this tribe swap. You and Dave were the last 2 champions on the champion beach. I felt safe as hell.
So when I was sitting, so you swapped, we came back thing, and I'm sitting at you's feet. It was you, Sarah,
Hannah, Andy.
Andy, all yous. And I'm sitting on the feet like, hey guys, like, trying to make conversation. And no, everyone was like, and I was just telling you about that big crab.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put work in there.
Yeah.
But no one wanted a bar. Yous were just shutting me down.
Really?
Well, I didn't
I
feel...
think we just wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah, yous did. But that's
Because
what I'm saying.
we were sleeping really early in Contenders
I'm
Beach.
I'm up all night.
You
trying
are
to,
up
like,
all night.
trying to make sure I get my relationships
Yeah.
down, and I'm spending time with people to try to. Like,
I've now
pretend-
learned that that's like huge. Not that I didn't do
Huge.
that, but it's so
Putting in the work.
massive.
You have to stay up all night potentially and sit there and have long conversations
Yeah.
one-on-one with people, so then people actually feel. Well, it's
Like
also, it's
because
good.
time is your only
Time,
currency
yeah,
out there.
exactly. That
right?
exactly. Time that's everything,
Yeah.
and you have to act at night.
Yeah.
And you can't just sleep for 10 hours.
But what
and then
we-
think that
what
wake
we
up and
did-
the alliance is going to be the same.
What we did at Contender Beach is we would kind of go to bed really early. So like Andy, Casey, myself, and Harry, we would go to bed really early because we'd be pitch black in our
Yeah, it was
shelter,
dark, yeah.
and we would like talk shop. And no one knew that we were working together. The people just thought we went to sleep.
Just went to sleep. Yeah, okay.
Obviously, it didn't work for anything. But so okay, we got back to your beach. We knew that we just wanted to get rid of you. So this is interesting, and I don't know, like, if you know this. You spent a lot of time with Daisy that night, that first night, right?
Yeah, me and Dave.
As soon as I got up, I went to the bathroom. She followed me and she said, Sam, one of these guys has an idol. I can't tell you how. And I was like, Daisy, how do you know that? She's like, I just can't tell you. You need to trust me. So she did kind of out.
Yeah. So she was outing us.
Yeah, she really did.
Yeah.
And it was from that moment, that's because I didn't trust her even going to the beach. I trusted her, right? And then obviously we did that challenge that day, that squat challenge.
So
How do
she
you-
made you comfortable by telling you that.
But how does that make you
She
comfortable?
hadn't prepared to get me out until Andy was telling everyone about the idol. She was full bottle
So she
head.
had pretty much aired out exactly like the whole dynamics of your tribe and how it stood and how so she had, even though she hadn't chose to potentially jump on with me and Dave and was
She
still getting
knew that
information.
that's the way that she was leaning. And because
So
don't
she-
forget,
yeah.
she thought that Sean was in with you guys, so that made her comfortable,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Yeah.
With
But I
that,
actually still think she wanted to get you guys out up
Yeah.
until Andy had.
She probably did.
Yeah.
She probably
how do
did.
you sort out who to trust though? Because to me, like if she's come to you and said one of these guys have got an idol, that's snitching. Like
Yeah,
how are you
yeah.
going to trust her with like if you've
Because
got
I
she was
didn't
she was
know.
contenders strong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have
Was
rolled in as an
Yeah.
army, and you've got two people that you haven't spoke to before,
Right.
And they're two champions. So the idea is, if one of those contenders has then spent an hour talking to these two guys, which you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell is she doing talking to them? Then to come back and go, oh my god, they potentially have an idol, and they're filtering all that information back to you. It puts you at ease to think, well, she's gone and chatted to them
Yeah.
and brought me all the information.
Yeah.
So we obviously are tight. So that's
Yeah.
the idea. Is
Yeah.
it's-
And I don't think she felt in that. I mean, I've talked to her a little bit since, but I don't think she felt overly comfortable coming to Champion Beach because with Andy, myself, Hannah, and Sarah, she was on the outer, and
Exactly.
Baden would have swung anyway.
So that's why we were like trying.
So to her, she was like, "Oh, I
spending
need, I
time
need
with
to,
her.
I need to work out what I'm
I wanna
doing
do,
here,
yeah.
right?" So that's and it solidified to me. Like I still thought I was safe. I got blindsided, but once Andy had said about this idol that Sean had, that confirmed what
Andy just dobbed in her best mate.
yeah.
It's like
But
saying.
I didn't know that pissed her off. I
Yeah,
thought
she
they had
held it
both
down.
communicated this.
Yeah, and then it obviously annoyed her because it's like, Andy, you have that in secret,
Yeah.
secrecy, and you've gone and just told. everybody.
However, she also essentially dogged in her friend because she had told me.
Yeah.
So she just didn't want anybody else.
Oh,
to
she
say
was doing
right?
it. As I said, I feel like Daisy's probably just told a lot of truths.
Yeah.
She came back and told you that, yep, she thinks about it all. She came and told to us, yep, these are the people that I'm feeling on the outs. This is what's going on. Yep, okay, I've told you about it. So she had told a lot of people too much.
Yeah.
And the idea, I think, that we had probably tried to make her feel super comfortable by just spending time with her, finding out, saying that we're on the outs a little bit with the champs.
Yeah.
and
So
this
now
and that.
she felt more comfortable with you guys. She knew that she'd overheard some stuff on the beach where apparently I never referred to her, but I said it was either her or Sean that we wanted to get rid of because that was so tight.
Yeah.
She overheard that and she got really paranoid, which is so easy to do out there. So she just didn't feel comfortable around me. I don't blame her because I would have tried to get her out. I would have.
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to 100% fully trust someone.
No,
Like,
you can never.
could you
Oh,
have
it's
even?
so hard.
No, you
Could
ha-
you
you
have
ha-
even 100% fully trusted Dave?
Look, you have to, and I do believe that we were in a position where I was treating him like Jericho.
Yeah.
We were besties.
Really?
Yeah, we're besties.
Oh, poor Jericho.
Yeah.
Jericho's
no,
number
we
one.
mean besties. You know,
Yeah.
like what I'm saying
You're
is,
so
like,
lucky to have
Yeah.
that out there as well, to have that one person that you
Oh,
trust
Yeah.
95% of, because
that is what you need to do as a player.
Yeah.
Is you need to find that one person.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's because that is way more powerful. Having complete trust. It's
Yeah.
like an
That's how I
emotional
felt. That's how I
pillow.
felt about Harry.
Yeah, so
I
when you
really
lose
did.
Harry, then it's like, oh my god, I'm
We
on
got
my
split
own.
up, yeah,
you know,
so
and you have to
vulnerable.
navigate yourself and work
Yeah.
out your own lies and whatever.
So if you could have done it, because like obviously there's that challenge at the end that Pia won,
Yeah.
and that won the show.
Baden won that second last.
The one where they were standing on the.
Baden
Oh,
won
he
it.
won that.
Yeah.
But then how did Pia win again?
because she just
She won the jury.
Oh, right.
So people vote. The jury votes. I can't believe you guys don't even know this. You-
No, I do.
We've
I
got a
just-
noob.
I don't
We've
know
got
the-
this guy.
Do you know
like,
what your
yeah.
podcast what this is called?
No, but like this is a learning podcast for me.
No,
All
100%. You'd be like, fuck Survivor.
My
Crow, just think of something else to whinge about.
I'm getting the rules down pat. You know,
No,
my missus
100%,
knows
man.
all about it. She knows more about it than I do.
No.
She's jealous. She wants to do the podcast.
So Pia essentially won
Yeah,
the
'cause she
jury
just spoke.
over at the end. Everyone voted for her. When you go to vote at the
I'm not
end,
gonna lie, I
you're
didn't
voting
see
for
the
him to
last
win.
episode.
Man.
When we talk about that the biggest thing with us, we had that tribe swap, and there was that 24 hours. That 24 hours, you would have had to see like a bit of a masterclass in when we were pulling people away one by one.
It's
Well,
so
you were
weird.
like, so
I didn't really, I just thought...
you were like, what are these guys doing? Because I remember going, Dave, I was like, what we need to separate them, every single one separately, and we work out exactly what each one's doing because we can work out.
But none of
what
us
the
really
lies-
told you it was up until Daisy came forth.
I know, yeah. Daisy was the one working for
And
it.
that's when
But
she
the beauty-
decided what was going to happen.
so the beauty thing is we still had both our idols.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in the
Which we
irons-
didn't know.
Exactly.
We
so
didn't
in
know
our
that you both
irons,
had
so if we
idols.
knew that at that time we were still waiting. So Daisy was like, I'm trying to do something. I'm working hard on John. Like me and John were tight. Like I was sitting there. I even told him about my idol just on the sly. But I don't know if it was afterwards. Either way, I was like, me and John were clicking.
Yeah.
Me and Daisy had spent up all night with Dave trying to click with her, and then we're trying to click with Baden, which didn't want a piece. But the moment Baden opened
wanted
up,
you gone when we got
so
there.
Baden wanted nothing to do with me. Didn't even want to talk to me.
As soon as
nothing.
he got there, he was like,
But you
"Let's
know,
get to go."
that's what I'm saying. But the moment he said, "Sweet, I'm on board, I'm happy," we knew it was good. It was like
Yeah.
a sealed deal
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he should have stayed like that the whole time. And then came and told me. But because he was so shut off and then said, yep, we've got this sorted, boom, we don't have to play our idols. But the idea is if no one came to us and we thought we're in a completely stuck situation, we would have dropped both our idols.
Would you? I would have probably gone home anyway.
Well, potentially.
Yeah, because that's the way I've thought about it. Because I found out, I wasn't supposed to know, but I found out just... after I got out, obviously, that you both had idols. Like, so I got found out.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that kind of made me more comfortable because I would have gone home anyway. Most
Do you know
likely,
what? Personally, I probably wouldn't have, because the way you were still talking to me and stuff, I would have probably aimed for someone that wasn't going to save me.
Okay.
So Baden didn't want to come in and would shut me down.
Because I was too
I'll
nice to
take
you.
you.
And I think we need to tell everybody like what I said to you that day.
Yeah. All right. So this is the
massive.
first. This
I
was
wish they put on
They
television.
should have put it on. They didn't. It was the most funniest thing. So do you want to say it or I'll say it? You say it. Yeah. 'Cause you'll say it,
So
yeah.
obviously, like I'm feeling good. I'm in the numbers. Like I'm like poor Luke, poor Dave, and I liked you a lot more than I liked Dave because I was like, that sucks, man. Like jog on. But you were like, Sam, like what are we doing? What can you do? Like I'm begging, and I was like, dude, I feel so sorry for you. Me not knowing that he was
blindsiding her.
absolutely blindsiding me the whole time.
Brutal.
She's like, there's nothing I can do. It's out of my hands. And we've been pulling everyone and one on one. And I was like, on the beach, I was like, man, please, like, I really want to stay in this game.
And didn't I say to you, just put down Dave's name?
Yeah, she's
Remember?
like, just write down. I was like, all right, no worries. I'll write down Dave's name. And then I was like, but just like try something for me, please. And she was like, I feel like so bad. I actually feel so bad.
Honestly,
She said
I
to me,
legitimately did. I was like, I
she
feel
goes,
so
I feel
horrible.
so bad for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you're going.
You're like, dude, I feel
Deep
bad
down
for you.
in my head.
I feel bad for you.
But no, and I did.
how I felt like.
I did write down Dave's name, and apparently Baden had thought in our first ever tribal that I had put down his name, and he was like, "That's why." He was like, "I didn't care if you went, Sam, because I thought you put my name down." I was like, "Dude, I didn't put your name down."
Yeah, and then because Daisy was selling it that you had tried to target her, and she was on the bottom of the list.
However, that wasn't always solely me. I think I took the blame for a lot of like everyone wanted Daisy gone. Not really, like.
They should have played that because I remember seeing the cameraman right on us too.
Yeah, it was
Like,
funny.
We were right at the beach, yeah. And
So you
were
reckon they got it?
Yeah, well, most of the time when I do stuff like that, I know that there's a camera there, so I'll play it up even more
I know.
to really make sure. I'm like, please save me. Is there anything you could do? And the camera's like that, and she's like, listen, I'm sorry, it's done. And
I
then,
feel so sorry for you.
yeah, and then I'm like, oh man, I guess I'm going, and then deep down I'm like, the plan's already in place to get you out.
You go.
I'm actually
You are
going.
going to be fucking blindsided.
Did you feel sorry for her knowing that?
No,
not
at all. He's like, when you're out there and you save yourself, you're like fucking single. And I would have, not for you,
Brutal.
but I'd be like,
it wasn't like all of a sudden, like I can separate the emotions from the game to the emotions of a person. So that's why I say when Pia voted me out, I'm like,
get it.
good on her. She
Yeah.
should have done that. The only play I felt like I had was to put all the emotions on her and try and play at her emotions.
I'm too
she's
gullible.
so-
I would be sucked in straight up. Anyone could.
It's so hard.
It wouldn't even be blindsiding me. I'd just be going unknowing.
Yeah.
Gone.
It
But
is-
I got so blindsided.
Yeah.
Like I can't even tell
when
you how
that
blindsided I was.
first thing and it was written down, it said Sam.
As soon as I saw my name,
what
I
were
knew
you
I was.
like?
I
Were you
knew
like,
I was gone. Yeah. I know how this game works.
Yeah.
But no. It was almost when
It went
when
Luke
neither of
2,
you
Dave 2.
when neither of you played your idol. Because we knew one of
yeah.
them would have come out with an
Played
idol,
one,
and
yeah.
when neither of you did,
Were you just like,
I was
this is
like,
strange.
this is.
What's the
not-
feeling like when you know you're gone?
Heart son?
I'm not gonna lie. It was like 16 days. I had no other food. Like I was.
Okay.
Yeah, you did it hard.
Like, don't get me wrong. I wanted to be there with
Yeah.
everything, but when you're out, it sucked. But then I was like, oh my god, I get food. Like I cannot explain like the hunger. Because I got
Yeah.
nothing the whole time. I didn't get a reward, the food reward.
How did you feel? So, because I know what my experience was like in 2017. And
Yeah.
When I actually landed in the airport in Perth or whatever, and I was so skinny still, and obviously getting out and sitting in the car and stuff, it's like a out of body experience.
Yeah.
I remember walking down in the airport and I'm like, 14 kilos lighter.
Yeah.
I'm like tanned. Like I just was like,
And you can tell
where the
no
hell
one.
have I been?
I know.
Like,
you can tell no one of like what's happened.
I remember
That's
you
probably
rang
the
me
weirdest
when you
feeling.
first got back, actually.
Oh, really?
And I didn't even know where you'd been.
oh really?
I was like, no idea.
Not
I thought
at
you'd just
all?
been like, nah.
Come
Because
on.
some of my friends just
Well, I didn't
disappear
tell anyone.
sometimes.
I'm
I
pretty
did.
good.
I did.
I'm currently
I don't
chasing
tell
down
My
no one.
about...
friends would be like, "Are you fucking on Amazing Race again? Like, what have you been? You done this before?"
Well, no, I think it was the first time you were on, you rang me after you got back, and I had no idea. Some of my friends just go missing. I'm currently trying to track down about 5 of them at the moment. But no idea. No idea at all. And then the second
Track
time
him
he
down.
went, I think I saw you before you went, and I didn't even catch
Yeah,
on.
I once again didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
It's so
where's
weird,
Luke?
though.
I'm like, oh.
I'm pretty good. I actually like people to know nothing.
Yeah.
Like I like people to just be like, "Holy shit, Luke's back on TV."
Yeah,
or something,
yeah.
or whatever. So, but
No, it's so interesting. I'm just glad that you don't have to wait. Like for Amazing Race, we had to wait a good 6 months for it to be on television.
Oh, really?
And that actually was really hard for me because when you do Amazing Race, okay, this is actually a real thing. You know how we had a psych? You got a psych in Survivor. Like Nick, he's there every day.
Yeah, well, like because they know people have mental.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard.
Struggle mentally.
Yeah.
It's mentally really, really hard. So on Amazing Race, and this is legit what happened to me. Obviously, I was really young, hadn't never travelled that much, but because you're going through those challenges and crazy every single day, like 24/7, non-stop, I actually it's adrenaline. So when I stopped, I got adrenaline withdrawals. Apparently, it's a full
really?
thing. Yeah, where I felt really depressed when I came out. Apparently, it's a full thing. Like
Do you
it's
know
quite
what?
common.
I can feel that because
Yeah.
you're for
It's like
2
it's like
days or
being-
3 days you are in a constant.
Yeah,
we need
it's
to
like
get
being on a
somewhere.
drug for that long and then stopping. Being on a
Wow.
drug and stopping, and then coming off it completely.
Wow.
I used to get them when I used to get off Goldeneye on the 64, Like these adrenaline withdrawals, I just thought it knocked out all 4 opponents
same
with the
thing.
golden gun.
It's funny. It's the same thing.
What could be better? And there's no one wants to play anymore because I'm too good. Shit, I need to play.
Fortnite withdrawals.
I'm old school.
All right, I got one more. I reckon I got one more
fella.
question for
All right,
you.
man.
All right. I was gonna say something about you being in the nationals for Miss Indy and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah.
When I'm stalking.
Yeah.
But the last one is, if you had the opportunity again to do either, would you do Survivor or Amazing Race? Yeah,
Amazing Race, man.
Ooh.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, she's like, don't ever starve me.
Which one was I better at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amazing Race,
I would want to go back with Renee because that's
Yeah.
who I did it with. She's the OG. I've actually asked. She's about to have a baby, but I'd actually
All
asked
stars.
her, "Are you? If we ever got asked, because it's a real possibility now.
Yeah, of
like
course.
maybe they will do it. Would you do it?" And she said yes. She needs to have a child first.
She should do it pregnant. That'd be like a spin on it,
I would never let her.
In India, running across the sand and a baby just
Need to get this
slides
out.
out of
Eat
the
a
leg.
curry.
Yeah.
But would I do Survivor again? Yeah, I would. But it's
Amazing Race, though.
Survivor's so
Survivor
hard.
sucks, eh?
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Like even people are like, "Oh, you only did 16 days," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"You
you
can
go
go
do
try
16
it, man."
days. The
It's
16, the first
hardest
16
thing.
days are the hardest.
They're the hardest.
Yeah, it actually probably gets a little bit easier as it gets on.
You get into a routine. Your body's used to being like malnourished.
Yeah, I reckon the first maybe exactly like you did the hardest. When I probably say hardest time, it is probably the first 16
It's
days.
so hard. They're
And,
so-
and you
but the-
also didn't win the reward at the start, which that's why
None.
I'm saying I know you.
Rubs
I
it
want a
hard.
blanket. That fucking blanket.
Oh yeah, that little white one. Yeah. I remember laying there, and I can't remember who took it, and I was just like, well, it was like day 40 or something, and somehow we end up with this blanket, and I was just like,
That was your blanket?
Yeah, it was my blanket. I was the OG with the blanket.
really good,
yeah, John
yeah.
was the one that gave that to me, and the one
Johnny,
reward.
what a legend. He
Thank
actually
God.
set you up for success
I know.
with that blanket.
But yeah, I loved Survivor. Like, even though my experience was, not as great as some, I still got a taste of it. I got to tick it off my bucket list. And I got to meet you, Toki. So
Let's
there
see it.
you go.
Ready? Let's hit it. Boosh.
Oh, you nearly had the message. Oh, you on? No. Are you on?
All right, well, that's a wrap, I reckon.
Before we go, though, I got
what do you got?
I got a little shout out to my homies at the Underdog Mob for putting the theme song on for us for the start of the
Underdog
podcast.
Mob.
Yeah, my boys Quayle and Verbal Abuse put that one together. So,
Quayle, verbal abuse.
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 Yeah, the
Cheers,
Underdog
boys.
Mob. Go check them out.
I love that tune and I love your rap, brother. Appreciate us doing that. And
Thanks, Sam, for coming on.
we'll
Thanks,
throw you
guys.
up there. Cheers.
Oh, this is the Welcome to the Jungle podcast. You need to find us on Instagram. You need to find us on YouTube. You need to see us on Stitcher or even listen to us on Stitcher. Apple Podcasts. What else we got, Brian?
YouTube.
I think it said YouTube.
Subscribe,
sign up, send us likes, everything. Just do everything. Rate and review. Thanks, Brian. Get it done. I need to see it and give the crow some more compliments. I need some more love,
Yeah, give the crow some love.
You're getting nothing. Brian wrote in about me.
Screaming at the top of my chops, karate chopping pots, potting up a couple of crops. I think I've lost the plot. I sink a lot of shots, shooting savants. I don't know what's happening now, let alone in a month. A loaded gun couldn't cut me down. I cut the mustard and muster up the hounds. I'm hounding to let them out. Outing's got that canine cloud your judgment with the way rhymes spout. Keep it 100, I'ma make mine count.
Got your head nut, got your head nut.